Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank my fellow Rules Committee gentlemen from Georgia, Mr. Woodall. I rise today in support of both the Rule H-Res 355 and the underlying legislation, H.R. 2560. Mr. Speaker, there's no way to get around it. Washington has a spending addiction. The unchecked, out-of-control spending has gone on for decades. Regardless of what party controlled the White House or Congress, Washington spent, and spent some more. And although throughout this campaign, President Obama promised a net spending cut, that hasn't happened. In fact, he's kept on spending and adding trillions of dollars to our debt, and that's why we're in the situation we are today, debating raising our debt ceiling once again. Mr. Speaker, I don't want to raise the debt ceiling. Instead, I want our nation to get real with the spending and make some changes. H.R. 2560 isn't the easy choice, but it's the right choice. And that's why I'm co-sponsor of this critical piece of legislation. H.R. 2560 raises the debt ceiling, something I'm willing to say most of my Republican colleagues and I decidedly do not want to do. In return, though, H.R. 2560 implements spending cuts for this year and caps for the next 10 years. But we all know statutory budget cuts from the past Congresses don't mean an awful lot, which is why H.R. 2560 also calls for Congress to send and pass to the states a balanced budget amendment. Such an amendment would really hold Washington's feet to the fire. It would mean the U.S. Constitution prohibits the federal government from spending more than it collects. Now that, Mr. Speaker, may I have 30 seconds?
Yield the gentleman an additional 30 seconds.
The gentleman is recognized for an additional 30 seconds.
Now that, Mr. Speaker, is a balanced budget amendment to the United States Constitution. That's real action. The real change in accountability in government that America needs and deserves. Mr. Speaker, we need a balanced budget amendment. The President has yet to send to this body anything in writing. All we've received is a speech in rhetoric. We need to move this country forward. We need a balanced budget amendment. We need to pass H.R. 2560.
Gentleman's time has expired.